Arnold Schwarzenegger, in a graduation speech that was very famous back in the day, I don't know if you've seen it, but he basically says to win, you must break the rules, and then he makes a caveat, break the rules, not the law. So let me break down what he's kind of talking about and how this game of marketing that we're doing, of showing up to appear in a way that is attractive to people, and not only appear, but also to deliver an experience that is so meaningful that it creates word of mouth, how that is done by breaking the rules of the game, and of course, not breaking the law. And my take on this is that, okay, let's make it clear what breaking the law is. Don't do anything criminal. Don't do anything to jeopardize the health of your patients. Don't do anything that is in violation of, of certain policies that are there for a good reason, particularly legal and ethical and HIPAA stuff. But when it comes to the other stuff now, the rules, which are the unspoken expectations of how the game should be played, there is a lot of there's a lot of opportunity there to question things that other people have not questioned, which is why critical thinking is such a valuable skill, because you learn to see and ask things that no one else is even thinking of looking at or asking. So I think to the recent Winter Olympics, I think it's still going on, and you look at some of these games, and these are people who have mastered the rules. They have optimized to such a high degree playing by the rules. So if you're figure skating, it's doing all you can within those given set of rules. If it's going down that, the ski jump or whatever it's called, it's to optimize, given those conditions, what you can do with it. Now, breaking the rules means changing the conditions. It means not playing by the same rules. If someone is skiing down the slope and I don't know how far they travel, but let's say they travel down 200 meters before they jump, maybe you change the rules to say, why does it have to be 200 meters? Why can't we do it 500 meters to show people a even more spectacular jump, right? All these things that we take for granted are the rules. All right, so let's apply this to dentistry. How can you break the rules to show up differently? And what are the rules, first of all? So in dentistry, I think as dental providers, what I've noticed by observing them is that many of them believe that it's about clinical excellence, which to a large degree is very important, but the game is much larger than that. It's not just about being so good clinically that patients come and find you. So there's a lot of anecdotal stories revolving around this. One is like, it doesn't matter, the number of malpractice lawsuits have less to do with the clinical excellence of the provider and more to do with their chairside manner. I think this was a recent study, or maybe a couple of years ago, where it showed that malpractice suits had much less to do with how well you did. And when it comes to actual value, what people find valuable, it's much more than just how efficient or how excellently you can provide their treatment. After some level of proficiency, people stop caring. And it might sound ridiculous, like how it's their health, how could you stop caring? But like after you reach some level of proficiency with dentistry or whatever it is whatever service you have to offer people, and then we get into the realm of us just geeking out about our own topics, our own industries, our own niche knowledge. And when we geek out there, usually those people don't care about that level. And when it comes to actual material results, there is much more diminishing returns. All the effort and resources it takes to incrementally improve that result might have been much better if we had spread those resources out into other areas that people cared about. So a good example is for a very good restaurant. Let's say you have a 2-star Michelin restaurant. Its food is excellent and it's vying to get its 3rd Michelin star. All right, so we have this 2 Michelin star restaurant and it's in the back alley of some dark urban area. There's feces on the floor, there's rats scurrying about, cockroaches, and you have this little 2 Michelin star stall of food, let's say. To get to their 3rd star, or to increase the value that that restaurant provides its patrons, isn't going to be to work on the food anymore. It's going to be to change the conditions around which that food is served. All right, so this is what I'm trying to get at. And it's not just the location, it's not just how you appear. There's so many other ways you can break the rules and create an unfair advantage for yourself. And of course, there's no specific way to do this. I can't say, hey, you need to break the rules this way. Because once you break the rules that way, people catch on. If I say you need to break the rules this way, someone will do it. The other people will see that it probably works, and they will start following along until it becomes part of the rules again. It's no longer a broken rule. The rules are always evolving. When you look at any esports games where there is a changing meta, where people play to whoever, or where there's some patch, there's an update, the conditions around the game changes, there becomes a meta, how people play the game. And usually the ones that do very well and go very far in tournaments are the ones that determine the meta, the ones that are ahead of the curve. They're saying this is how the game is going to be played, and the other teams are scrambling, trying to figure out how to solve the game that initial team set for everyone else. So this is what I'm trying to get at for you, is you need to start taking leadership of the conditions, creating the meta, creating new rules that other people are going to play by, because there's nothing in the world that says that this is how dentistry should be done. These are the rules that we must play by. There is no divine law that says this. But so critical thinking, ask questions, see what isn't being looked at, and those are the opportunities for you to go and break the rules. All right, so how should you break the rules? Like there is no specific way, but there is a right way and there is a wrong way to do it, definitely. The wrong way to do it would be to break the rules, to just be different because you're just showing up just to break the rules, and that's not the right way to do it. If you go to a game of, let's say, ice hockey, and you just start saying, instead of shooting the pucks with a stick, I'm just going to shoot it with like a launcher of some sort. That's not going to be, or you're going to be breaking the rules, yes, but that breaks the entire genre of what you've been working within. You still have to be within the same game, but breaking the rules there. So if like, I think games are a very apt way to describe this entire thing, because games have rules. And if you play, let's say you play chess, all right? So I try to break the rules, let's say by castling is a very important concept in chess, where you prioritize the safety of your king. But let's say I break the rules and let's say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to care about my king's safety. Instead, I'm going to say that offense is my best defense. And throughout this tournament, I'm going to approach this game with that attitude, and people are going to have to adapt to me. So that is an example of a rule, breaking a rule that is within the genre. But let's say now you break the rules and say, you know what, I'm going to go to the tournament and I'm going to play with 2 queens instead. That's just not going to fit into the genre of what's already been established, right? So you have to be very, understanding of what's come before you, and play in a way, break the rules in a way where your breaking of the rules won't get you ostracized, won't have some authority figure in that industry come and eliminate you. And this happened in bicycling. So someone created the reclining bike, the one where you like lay back and you pedal forward. And they used that to beat in a bicycle competition. They beat some of the top biking athletes with that reclining bike. And what that caused was that, I think it's called a recumbent bike, it was banned from all biking sports. So when you broke the rules that way, you're not just breaking the rules ridiculously, but also you're breaking the rules in a way that's not like stepping on authority figures' toes. Then you have a much better chance of existing within that game and still playing by different rules. And also to break rules in favor or in a way that you're prospective audience finds valuable. So I can just break rules for however I want to break rules, but people might not really care. How you should break rules is in a way that it creates value for the people who are ultimately going to experience it. So it comes back to understanding, who is it for? Who is that service that we're creating, that marketing that we're doing? Who are we trying to affect? Those group of people, what do they believe and what do they want? And if we can start there, then we know how to break the rules and how we can create better alignment to their desires by questioning things and conditions that everyone else took for granted. All right, so I've been rambling on a bit, but I hope this mindset shift has been a bit of an eye-opener for you. Start to ask, what are the established rules? What do people take for granted? What do people believe is written in stone, even if it's not? And can I change that? Can I change that in a way that better serves the people I intend to serve? Can I change it in a way that doesn't, breaks the rules in that context for those people, that's in service of them, and also change it in a way that doesn't get me banned, that doesn't have a higher authority power come and strike me down and prevent me from playing that game again? Can I present those rule breaks in a way that is acceptable to those figures who have that potential power? Now, that's more of an advanced concept if you want to truly scale. Recumbent bikes are banned in tournaments and competitions, but you can still buy them and ride them. So if you're looking at a marketing perspective in terms of sales, like, you'll still do well, but you probably won't get the level of scale that would come if he had taken a more tactful approach in how he brought recumbent biking into the field. The broken rules were the same, but his approach to how he brought it could have been different. He could have allied with more powerful sponsors, with more powerful celebrity figures in the biking field to gain more acceptance and to have the authority figures almost have to accept him. But I'm kind of ranting here. Anyway, break the rules, ask questions, figure out what is being taken for granted that you could break in order to better serve the people you want to do. It's going to give you an unfair advantage. Your competitors are going to be scrambling to figure out how they're going to be playing on the same playing field as you. You're going to be dictating the terms of that game now, and you will have all the advantage that come with that. All right, hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. See ya.